that's something that cost me money. That was a $100 commission that I lost because of it. It actually would have been a little bit more than that, because I would have hit on the upsell, I would have hit another 40% of that. So over $100 that I lost because of it.
Aloha! Follow me as I share with you what I learned back on the sales line. I'm Khalil McCabe, and this is Sales Story Ninja.
Hey, what up? It's Khalil with Sales Story Ninja Radio. Here's my notes, and I want to talk about the 3 mistakes that cost me money on my launch the other day. I made 3 costly mistakes when we launched a couple of days ago. Well, it's at this point, by the time this post, it'll have been a while ago, and like, we made money, which was cool. Like, most people, as an affiliate, the moment they post their site, they don't make money immediately. We made money immediately, literally the first day the site went up. We made, I think, 3 sales initially right off the bat. So we have some money coming in. We're turning profitable. Now it's a matter of continuing to drive traffic, continuing to provide value. And but even though we did make money on the front, there were some big mistakes that did cost me money, and one actually did cost me like straight up money. The other couple of them may have cost me money, and I think they did. But I want to share with you what those 3 mistakes were. But here's the thing I do want to talk about. Even though I made those 3 mistakes, if I were to go back in time and choose to not launch my product or launch it anyway, I'd still elect to launch it anyway. And I want to share with you guys why I would still choose to launch it. So anyway, the 3 mistakes that I made. The first mistake was I didn't give enough time to pre-set up my launch. I didn't set up enough time. And so I started to drip content out about 6 days prior to the launch, which in all intents and purposes is okay if I had a list. If I had a full-on list that I've been grooming and, molding and sculpting and loving on for a long time, that they loved me at this point, I had raving fans, I could start dripping out about 6 days beforehand. But since I don't have a list, I had to build it. And so I could have used a couple more weeks. The truth is, I didn't have a ton of time. I started shifting. So I knew I was going to get into affiliate marketing pretty shortly after we stopped working. But I got detoured. I got sidetracked with trying to do some inbound closing. And I realized I was taking away from what I really want to do, which is my affiliate marketing program. And then as I built my program out, I think I started on the 14th is when I started to actually build it out. I continued to just develop and change. And so I only had a couple of weeks, and I wanted to launch it by the end of the month. So I only had 2 weeks in total. And the first big portion of it was actually setting it up and making sure all the pieces were together. So, that's what I did. And I'm not blaming it, but if I could go back, if I could do something different, if I could have built up more pressure on the front end, the launch would have went off way smoother, and I probably would have hit a lot more sales on the front end. But because I wasn't able to, just timing wise, and 2, I started so late on dripping out my content specifically for the launch and started pre-talking about the launch. It took a while to get there. A lot of that just kind of... So it did go off. It did go well. I did get buyers. I did have hot buyers. Everything went well, except I didn't quite have as much pressure as I could. And therefore, even though when I actually started really pounding out those emails, so when I did the pre-launch stuff, I think I had like 3 emails on my list. And by the time the launch hit, I almost had 10 times the amount. The problem is 10 times 3 is 30. So it's not a lot. It's really good growth. It's not a lot. I still hit 3 sales off a 30-person email list. They say you're supposed to make $1 per person per month, and we've made over $100. So I have 3 months worth of income off of one. So I'll take $3 a month, $3 from that, $3 per name on my list, and it should have been more. But I'll talk about that in mistake number 3. Mistake number two that I made is my email auto response sequence was not set up properly. And so because my email auto response sequence was not set up properly, I had a big issue. I had to chewing gum and duct tape my promotional announcements. So I actually had to blend in broadcasts and a follow-up funnel. I had my automation steps go out, but then I also had to send out broadcasts to fill in the gaps that I didn't hit because certain segments of my list weren't attached and other segments of my list were attached, and it just got to be funky. And so I yeah, it didn't work out. Going back, if I could go back, I'd have wanted to make sure at least my email sequence was set up. And what it was is because I was trying to create interest before the launch, I should have had the email sequence set up before the pre-launch. So lately the last couple of days since the launch, I've been backfilling all my emails. And so now I actually have my sequence set up. I have my Seinfeld sequence set up, or not, I have about half of it set up, but I'll be finishing those over the next couple of days. So, and then I'll be shifting my list over to the Seinfeld sequence, and then it's a matter of backfilling. My hope is about 3 months worth of emails. So hopefully it'll take me about a week to do probably less, but I'm giving myself about a week to backfill. So I need to do a week's worth of emails and content and everything so I can just focus on building up my flow. Because the next thing I need to do is find the product that I'm going to sell on the upsell portion. We'll talk about that. But that's kind of the piece that I was missing is not pre-setting up those emails. So mistake number three. And this is the one where this one actually cost me money. So there's the mistake was I didn't make it clear that you need to purchase through my affiliate link to get it done. And I'm still talking with the affiliate company, because when I did talk to this person, they said they're pretty sure they purchased through my link. And so he said, but he doesn't know. He's a little confused with a lot of the retargeting ads that come out. So I need to reach out, and I already have reached out to the company. But the biggest thing is I didn't make it clear enough that they need to purchase through my link to get the bonuses. But the thing is, this is a person that's a personal friend of mine, so I did make an exception for him. This is somebody who I have a personal invested interest in seeing them be successful. Not that I don't have an invested interest in everybody being successful, but this guy is a neighbor, family, somebody I've known since I was a little kid, somebody that took us in when we were kids and coached us, that I really, really appreciate him for. So I want to make sure this guy wins. And so I'm going to help him out with that. But that's something that cost me money. That was a $100 commission that I lost because of it. It actually would have been a little bit more than that, because I would have hit, on the upsell, would have hit another 40% of that. So over $100 that I lost because of it. But I'm not, like, it happened. I'm going to try to recover it. And if I can't, I can't. And it's got to keep going. Here's the cool part. And one of the things I talk about when I was in timeshare that really helped is a lot of my new hires, they'd ask me, well, how do you deal with rescissions? And I'm like, the easiest way to deal with rescissions is write more. So like the easiest way to deal with like cookie issues is you just write more, and you sell more, and you sell more, and you sell more, and you keep selling more. Because that's the whole idea of what we're trying to do. We're trying to level up. We're trying to go to that next level. We're trying to go to that next piece. We're trying to go to that. Here's how I want to achieve it, right? And so that's the part that I think a lot of people are missing, is they're missing the opportunity to be able to, how do I say this? Lost my train of thought. People forget that our job is to ascend people through the value ladder, not just sell affiliate products, right? And so that's kind of the other piece of this. So again, but it's because I missed out on that opportunity. I just got to move on to the next one. You know, it's pretty crazy. So I made mistakes, right? And it would happen. But the question is why. Remember I said I would still make those mistakes again. If I knew going into it that I'd make mistakes, right? Would I have stopped the campaign, or would I have gone out and done it? And the truth is I would have still gone out and done it. And the reason being is that for me, like, part of our job as entrepreneurs is to go out and do it, and do it, and do it, and do it. And we'll learn from ourselves. Obviously, if I knew beforehand, I would have fixed it. But the email thing, I knew I was going to be short on emails. I still would have launched that. Wouldn't have waited another week to launch just so I could get the beautiful email sequence right. As entrepreneurs, we need to get out there. We need to do it, and we need to fix it. We need to fix things on the fly. And we got to patchwork this and patchwork that. And eventually, to make it go. I think there's so many people that never take action because they're so worried about making it right. They're so worried about figuring it out and saying, oh, well, I need to make sure all the pieces are in before I get started. I was the same way, right? I was so afraid to screw up. But that's the only way that we're going to win. And that's how, when we talk about how we're going to grow as entrepreneurs, this is about a journey. This is not about a, hey, we did it. This is about a journey that we go through and we experience and we win and we fail and we win again and we fail. And the truth is, the only time you truly fail is when you quit. Right? And so that's my message today is there's a, we want to make sure that, even with the mistakes that I had, we want to make sure we continue to go through. And so here's the 3 things that kind of remind me, or the 3 things that I know will help me take action in the right way going forward. And number 1 is take action. We just got to do it. Wayne Gretzky says we'll miss 100% of the shots we don't take. So we got to make sure we take action. The second thing is accept the fact that mistakes happen. So many times we're afraid to accept that mistakes will happen. They're going to happen. We just got to know how to fix it. We got to be malleable. We got to be flexible. We have to learn how to adjust. That's what we do as entrepreneurs, right? And number 3 is try again and try again and try again. One of my old VPs in timeshare, he had this quote that I loved, and it was just go until ... Go until ... That's it. His whole thing was you just keep going and you keep going and you keep going. As entrepreneurs, that's where we win, is when we keep going. So that's what I want to share with you guys. If you guys like this stuff, go ahead and shoot me a like, subscribe, and join my channel. I want to share a lot more of this. So what it is go ahead, check it out. Also, if you want to go ahead and do my free training, I have a link in the description below, affiliatecashframework.com/register, affiliatecashframework.com/register. Go ahead and check that out. And with all of that, I really appreciate you guys. This is Khalil with Sales Story Ninja, and have an awesome day.